we will install the autofill valve into our basin. When preparing to install the autofill valve, you will want to note the spin weld location along with the fountain basin opening. Also noting that you want your grates to meet up halfway on the cones inside the fountain basin. The support cones in some basins form a diamond. For these basins, you want the grates to meet on the two cones that are farthest apart. You will set aside the half grate to access the half-inch spin weld. Take the autofill valve and remove the nut from the threading, leaving the O-ring on the valve. Apply thread tape to the valve threading and thread the valve into the spin weld on the inside of the basin. You'll want to ensure that the black float and valve opening is facing down. At this point, you can adjust the float on the valve to make it horizontal, and then tighten the wing nut. You will notice there is a threaded cap on the outside spin weld of the basin. You will want to remove this now. If you are using irrigation line, you will take the half-inch threaded barb, apply thread tape, and then thread it into the spin weld on the outside of the basin. Remember to place your hose clamp on the fitting before making your connection, and then tighten. If you are using a garden hose connection, you will take the half-inch nipple, apply thread tape, and insert it into the outside spin weld. Then, taking your independent garden hose attachment and threading it onto the nipple. You can then apply thread tape to the end of your hose and thread it onto the garden hose attachment. You will then replace the half grate onto the basin, again ensuring the grates meet on the cones and that the pump hatch is allowing access to the autofill valve. At this point, you can make adjustments to the autofill valve by loosening the wing nut. Pull the float up to about a 30 or 40 degree angle in order to fill the basin as much as possible. It is important to make sure the float does not hit the bottom of the grates, or else the valve will not shut off and the basin will flood. We recommend testing the autofill before closing everything up to ensure there are no leaks. If all is well, then you will be good to go.